Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Wisdom Wednesday. My name is Kristen Gear. I am the Director of Operations for BNI Arizona, and I help support all of our 80-plus chapters that we have here in our region. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure that after this is done to record one chapter education unit for watching. So thank you so much. If you are needing additional chapter education units, please make sure to use the little magnifying glass on this BNI Arizona Facebook page and type in Wisdom Wednesday. You're going to get a whole bunch of past videos that pop up. I've been doing these every week for probably over 5 years now, so there's lots of content on this page if you ever wanted to listen to some of the past editions. So, awesome. Well, happy Wednesday. This week, I'm going to talk about referrals. So, it's been a hot topic lately of how to fill out referrals, what do they mean, all of the different things. So, I've been getting a couple different questions, so I figured I'd use this opportunity to educate on referrals. Because again, we're not a leads organization, we're a referral organization. So, it's important that we log our referrals correctly. So when you go into the BNI Connect app and you click on slips, you're going to have the option to send a referral. When you send a referral, that means that the person on the other end that is needing that assistance is waiting for that member's call. That is the best opportunity when you're passing a referral, because if we just assume they need someone's services and send the referral and there's no known contact for what they're needing, then that would be a lead. So we want to make sure that we're getting all of that piece correctly. Now, when we're sending a referral, what that referral means, for example, if I needed to I'll use Alexis as an example because I see that she's watching right now. So if I was needing a caterer, I would personally submit a referral to Alexis. So that way, that would be an actual referral. Now, on the referral slip, it's going to ask you if it's an inside referral or outside referral. This confuses a lot of people. So, an inside referral means that it is coming from me personally. Like if I am personally using her services for an event that I am doing, that's an inside referral. Regardless if she's in my chapter or not, that's an inside referral because it's from me directly. Now, an outside referral, let's say if my neighbor needed a caterer, then that would be an outside referral because I would then be referring my neighbor, of course, qualified everything first, but then sent over the referral with all of my neighbor's information so that way she can then reach out to them to then connect and get everything set up. So that is the difference between inside referral and outside referral. Now, in addition to that, there are two options right below inside and outside referral. There's one, told them they would call, or two, given your card. I'm telling you guys right now, the best option out of those two is told them you would call. Now, the biggest thing of where you would want to use given your card is, for example, legal professionals. They can't actively reach out to that referral, so they would need that person to reach out to them. So given your card is the perfect opportunity there. But when we're doing that, we need to make sure that we're following up with that person to make sure that they've connected. Because once we've sent it, sometimes it's out of sight, out of mind, and we forget to follow up on those referrals. So we want to make sure that we're following up on those given your card referrals to make sure that they've actually connected and that that person has personally reached out to them. Now, referrals does not mean that it's a guaranteed sale, guys. It does not need to be a guaranteed sale. However, there needs to be interest, whether they want to learn more information or are ready to buy today. It can be a guaranteed sale. So we just want to make sure that we're not sending leads, but then we're also submitting those referrals correctly. So when I'm submitting that referral slip, it means that I'm personally using someone's services or I'm referring someone to another member. Now, you can refer to anyone in your chapter, which will be in the member drop-down menu, or you can use the magnifying glass that's just to the right of the member drop-down menu to where you can do cross-chapter searches. I actually helped a member just recently on that too. So that's the cool thing about the relationships in BNI and it being much bigger than just connecting with the people in your room and in your chapter is you can connect with members cross-chapter and it counts for your referrals in your chapter, which is even better, right? So when we're getting those referrals submitted, we want to make sure that that is all good. Now, when we are receiving referrals, guys, there has been updates to the system to where you can update the status of the referral. Now, there are a lot of times where people are afraid to update the status because they think that it's going to send certain notifications to the other member, especially when it comes to thank you for closed business, because with certain status updates on the referral slip, if you mark that that you got the business, it then transitions to the thank you for closed business slip. Now, last week I covered thank you for closed business on Wisdom Wednesday, and remember I said everything around thank you for closed business is confidential. So when we're updating the status of the referral, now the different statuses that you can select are either not yet to contact, contacted, referral not responsive, got the business, did not get the business, not a good fit, or confidential. Now for some of our legal professionals and even financial professionals, choosing that confidential piece is perfect. Now, the only notification it's going to send to that member is the referral update status. That's it. So when you click on confidential, it will just send a notification saying that it's been marked confidential. So when it proceeds to the next page for thank you for closed business, you are the only one that can see the details on thank you for closed business. So even though the member has been contacted that the status update is confidential, it will not tell them exactly what was submitted for thank you for closed business. No leadership team member, not even myself with regional access, can see that information, guys. So we want to make sure that we are documenting everything correctly and marking the statuses appropriately. Now, you don't have to mark the status on the referrals, guys, but when we mark the status on the referral, it lets that member know that we are actively working on that referral. Because if we don't do anything with that referral status, then that member that we sent the referral to may think that nothing is happening with that referral. So when we update the status, that just keeps that other member that sent you the referral in the loop that, hey, you contacted them, things are in motion. You don't have to necessarily give them play-by-play on everything that's going on, especially if it's confidential, but just making sure to go in there and mark the status will allow the member to know, hey, you know what? I sent them the referral and they're working on it. That's the best thing. Because I do get questions a lot saying, hey, I sent these referrals and I have no clue like what's going on with it, if it's closed, if they submitted thank you for closed business. Now in those situations, the best thing to do is to reach out to the person that you passed the referral to and just do a follow-up to make sure that they connected. Now again, you don't need a play-by-play on how that referral went and if it closed and the amount and all of that stuff. You just want to make sure that they are actively working on it, because one of the code of ethics, guys, is making sure that we follow up on the referrals. So when you receive a referral, it's important that you follow up right away, because that will also help with your visibility and credibility in your chapter if you are actively following up on those referrals in a timely manner. So I wanted to make sure everyone was clear on all of the information when it came to referrals, whether it was inside and outside referral. Now on the thank you for closed business side, there's also different tiers. So there's a tier 1, a tier 2, and tier 3, not to make everything confusing, but when it comes to when you're submitting that thank you for closed business slip, tier 1 is business from a member directly. That's super, super easy. Tier 1, it's right from the member. Tier 2 is, in my original example of me referring my neighbor, that's a tier 2. So if you were the recipient of the referral, Alexis would make sure to mark that as a tier 2 referral if she got the business from my neighbor. Now, if the event was amazing and then my neighbor referred someone else, that would be a tier 3. And so the goal within BNI is to actively train your sales team to get more tier 3 referrals. So that way you're getting more than just the initial tier 1 referrals. Tier 2 are amazing as well. I think throughout my 10 years representing my business, I got tier 5, 6, 7, and 8 referrals. Like, you name it, it just kept on growing, which is amazing. And that's the whole goal in BNI, is not just to get those superficial, like, tier 1 referrals all the time, although those are amazing because as you build relationships with members of the chapter, those happen organically. But those tier 2 is connecting with those members network. And then tier 3 plus is that referral, refer to referral, which is even better. So we want to make sure that we're marking it appropriately. You can also choose whether it's new business or repeat business. And remember, guys, when it comes to referrals, a referral is sent on the first contact of that relationship. For example, if I signed up for a monthly pest control service, it would only be one referral from me to the pest control person. Let's say I referred myself to Ken Brown. That would be one referral to Ken for the monthly service, and then he would submit ongoing monthly thank you for closed business. It would not be a referral every single month to Ken for each of the months he came by. It was just one referral for the relationship and then ongoing thank you for closed business. So I hope this helps. If you have any additional questions or you're getting other questions from members on different things when it comes to any of the slips or how to record things in BNI Connect, let me know, because I'd be happy to help provide that information on a future Wisdom Wednesday. Awesome, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this week's edition, and make sure to record one chapter education unit for watching. Thanks so much. We'll see you guys next week.